A couple has started a controversy, okay, regarding an invoice they sent to their wedding guests who did not, in fact, show up to the wedding that they RSVP'd for. Now, this was a destination wedding. The couple apparently on multiple occasions confirmed the RSVP list. You're gonna come, right? You're gonna come, right? Because the way weddings work is if people say they're gonna come and you have a space for them at the reception, you gotta pay for that plate no matter what. No matter what. And sometimes plates can be between 150 to 200 bucks. And so this couple is like, nah, bunch of people didn't show up. We're gonna invoice them. This is a Chicago couple who had their wedding in Jamaica, which sounds amazing. I would have gone.
Yeah, well, that sounds terrific.
Yeah, and so here's the invoice, a photo of the invoice that they sent to people who didn't show up. And so in this case, they invoiced a total of $240. Apparently, Doug Simmons and Deborah McGee are the couple here. And a bunch of people who RSVP'd didn't show up. I think about 8 people who had RSVP'd did not end up coming to the wedding. I mean, there is a pandemic happening. I don't know if that played a role at all. But the invoice reads as follows. This invoice is being sent to you because you confirmed seats at the wedding reception during the final head count. The amount above is the cost of your individual seats because you didn't call or give us proper notice that you wouldn't be in attendance. This amount is what you owe us for paying for your seats in advance. So the newlyweds, according to this report, were recently married in Jamaica, as we mentioned. So they had to pay for each seat beforehand. While 109 people were invited, only 108 showed up. So
101 showed up.
I'm sorry, 101 showed up, my bad. So 8 people, I meant to say, did not come, even though they RSVP'd and said that they would come. But after repeated RSVPs, those 8 guests didn't tell the Simmons that they weren't attending. The couple had already paid the resort roughly $120 per person for the unused seats. So Cenk, what do you think about sending an invoice to people who don't show up for the wedding, even though they've RSVP'd?
Yeah, so first, it should be known the groom says that he didn't actually send the invoice, that he put it on social media to shame them so that they would pay him anyway, and which apparently they did. So that's what he claims. But really, does it make a difference if you sent the invoice or you put it on Facebook and publicly shame them?
I think the Facebook method might be worse, to be honest, right? Yeah, like, look, go ahead.
So I'm an expert on this because I did a destination wedding. Okay.
Expert.
Please.
Noted wedding expert, Cenk Uygur.
Of course. And so a destination wedding in Miami. So it sounds fancy, right? The reason we did it is because my wife is originally from Taiwan. So people were coming, and I'm originally from New Jersey. So people were coming from LA, New Jersey, Taiwan, and Turkey. And we're like, well, they're all gonna have to go somewhere. And by the way, there's politics involved. If you pick New Jersey, it seems like, oh, then you're favoring the groom, you pay, et cetera. You get it, right? So
I know about that.
You get rid of all the politics, you pick a neutral destination, you go to Miami. And we kept the cost as reasonable as we could, so I felt good about that. But when you invite people to a destination wedding, you have to understand that you're asking them to inconvenience themselves to some degree. I mean, maybe if they're going to Jamaica, they're going to Miami, they might be having a lot of fun and not inconveniencing themselves, but you're asking them to make a trek. So first of all, if they say no, you can't catch feelings. You're like, oh, so you didn't fly from LA to Miami for my wedding? Yeah, they didn't because you held it in Miami.
I think that's one of the main reasons why people have destination weddings. Like they don't want to have a massive wedding with a bunch of randos that like their parents force them to invite, right? Destination wedding is a good way to weed out people that you don't really want at your wedding, but you feel obligated to invite.
Okay, well that's another way to phrase it and frame it. So, and then if people don't show up, of course they didn't show up because there's flights that are delayed, this, that, a million other things. You don't invoice them, that's insane. If you do a destination wedding, you have to put into your mind, it's gonna cost this much. And some people aren't gonna show up and then live with it. If like, you can't ask people to go through all that stuff and then expect perfect attendance. And if you don't get perfect attendance, oh yeah, I invited you to my wedding and you said you were gonna go through this tremendous pain in the ass of going all the way to another country to attend my wedding. But at the last second, because of COVID or whatever, you could change your mind or couldn't make it. That's it, I'm gonna shame you.
I'm gonna extend this to all weddings, whether they be destination weddings or not, mostly because if you decide you want to have a wedding, you have to expect and accept, okay, this is the unwritten rule, that you're wasting a ton of money.
Yes.
Like, that's the whole point of a wedding. That's what a wedding is. It's a giant waste of money. And by the way, I should know, I had a giant wedding, and did I waste a lot of money? Yeah, I did. But on the wedding day, when all these little things went wrong and people who said they were gonna show up didn't show up, you know what I decided to do? Get drunk and have a great time. And then I forgot about it. That's the way weddings are supposed to be. Like, you have to go in expecting and accepting the fact that it's a giant waste of money. But we wanna know what you guys think. Here's the question: was the couple justified in sending invoices to guests who didn't show up to their destination wedding? Very easy poll, yes or no. You can take part by going to tyt.com/polls. We wanna know what you guys think.
Because some people might say, no, then why'd you tell me 4 times that you were coming? And that cost me a lot of money. I'm already in the hole here and you're killing me.
People suck, you gotta accept that too.
Yeah.
And get over it. I mean, it is what it is.
So, well, we'll see how you guys rule on it. Curious about that. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.